Hello, Pokemon Bracket.
Hello, welcome on.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. To all you listeners at home, my name is Cam. Happy to be here.
And I'm Pokemon Bracket.
Oh, yeah. This is Pokemon Bracket, or PV. I will be calling him PV. What have you brought me here for today?
So, as you guys have known, I've been teasing this podcast for a little while now. It's been in a few descriptions, I'm at the start of a few episodes, but we finally got Cam on. It took a lot of scheduling errors and all that kind of stuff. So, we're going to learn about him, and then we have some exciting conversation towards the end of this.
Before we start, I had no clue that you'd been like talking about this. That's good to
We've
know.
been hyping you up. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, to start out with, yeah, I have been a part of Pokemon Brackets community for a while now. I have been following on Instagram since mid-late last year, and was invited on for the first draft league, for the season 1 of the draft league. For those of you unaware, we are up to season 4.5 kind of right now. I don't like the current numbering system, but whatever. The point is, I've been here since the start, and we've been going for over half a year now. We started last October. PB and I were just talking about. Can you believe it's been that long, PB?
No, I'm actually about to be hitting next month a year of making Instagram videos.
That's
So
wild.
it's crazy.
And I mean, I joined. I wasn't right at the start, but I was not that far in. I want to say you were in the hundreds, like in the 100 range when I joined.
Yeah, most of you guys, like Wubs, he was there like week 2. A lot of you guys were there really early.
Well, that's how we got involved, right? We all left comments, etc. So, for any of you listening at home who stumbled upon this podcast, that is the way to get involved. You can message PB, you can say, hey, I like the idea of the community, and then talk to him. That's what I did. That's how I'm here now.
A lot of great opportunity there is, and a lot of great people too, not to mention.
hmm I think the first thing I want to talk about is just the general health of the community has been very good lately, it feels like. We're continuing to get new people who are very involved. We're continuing to be able to host events for them, but mostly Metronome Draft League seasons, but it's generally a very living server. It is not often that I go on there and don't have a bunch of chats I need to go read. And boy, do I read most of them.
Do the same thing. There's a lot of times. It's been a little bit since I got on there, and I've seen like a hundred something messages. And I'm like, oh my! And it's like, do I actually look through all these, or do I just mark them as
I
read?
have to skim sometimes. I work a full job. Sometimes I will come back in the afternoon, turn on my PC, and then sure enough, I open the server and it's like, oh, there's 200 missed messages. That's it's something. So we will see how that progresses with even more people joining, but in general, I'm very excited for it. I think that we've built up a very good community here, and it's in about as good of a place as it's ever been.
Honestly, the big thing too is we don't even do a lot of events. I've been behind the scenes
No.
talking how we want to plan stuff, but we haven't. No, I'm just saying I just want to do more stuff. I know roster's been big thing on this on Minecraft server we have, and then he also wants to do like Mario Kart and lots of other little things, but we haven't got a chance to yet.
Okay. Reason I'm asking is because there's another project that's been behind the scenes with myself, Hank, Chillin, Blab, and we. We've been working on a little project in the background that PB I know you know about.
Yeah. Do you have an ETA on
But
that yet, or?
that's the problem. I'm not in charge of that, but like we're basically there. Pretty much everything's implemented. The playtests are going well. Just keep an eye out if you're in the server. We might have something that you can do pretty passively, less of a one-time event, more of a effectively mini game you can play every week. So be ready for that.
I think it's really cool. I'm excited for it, and hopefully we can lure some more people over here for this
Would,
too, because it's more
would you
interactive.
like me to give a description or leave it a mystery for now?
I say leave it a mystery for now,
Got it.
because if it doesn't come out for another month and you describe it now,
I was more worried about the other way. Oh, you're talking about yeah. If our mini game does not happen for a while.
yeah, just
Mhm.
in case you never know.
Moving on from that, so for a little bit more of who I am in relation to the server, I was pretty involved early on in PB's community, like in the Discord server, to the point where I think even right before the draft happened and everything, I was being asked if I wanted to help out more, and I initially said no. There's messages somewhere. It would be hard to find them because I talk with everyone who was asking me now. But yeah, I initially was like, no, I'm good. I kind of just want to be part of the draft league for a little bit, nothing more. And then lo and behold, it wasn't that easy. Another like little bit passed, and I was like, sure, I'll help out. Actually, it was in the draft. Was that not enough people were? We didn't have enough people doing the sheets and stuff, so I took it upon myself and I started doing the sheets, which was crazy because I had no idea what I was doing back then. PB, do you want to take a quick pause? Finals is about to happen.
Oh, guys, we have an unprecedented podcast halt right now.
Yeah, losers finals of the draft league is about to happen. So sorry, no time will pass for you. We'll be back in a moment.
Hey all, Editor Ibs here to deliver my contract mandated ad read. Today's video is sponsored by the totally real Pokemon Backers Patreon. Subscribe today to pay for my very expensive lifestyle and PB's internet bill. Wait, what do you mean I'm not getting paid from this? But I don't get paid anyways, why is the Patreon not going towards me? Ugh, fine. I've also been asked to plug our Instagram at Pokemon Brackets. Please give us a follow if you haven't already, and feel free to join our Discord, link in bio. You will be hearing from me again very soon, but until then, have a good one and enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Back to where I'm pretty sure we left off. So after we got through the whole debacle with me joining in for season 1 and helping out with the draft, I built what I think was a really strong team, especially for none of us having ever played before. It revolved around Mudsdale, Flamigo, and Poltergeist. For those who don't know, Mudsdale gets an ability called Stamina, which is every time you get hit, you gain 1 stack of defense, one defense up. And then Poltergeist obviously comes in and not obviously. Sorry, people don't know this because it's a Gen 9 DLC mon. It has an ability called Hospitality, which is when you switch it in, it heals its partner. And then Flamigo, when it enters, copies the stat boosts of its partner. So all of a sudden, I set up my big horse, big funny horse. I heal big funny horse, and then when it's sufficiently big, I switch in Flamigo and have Big Bird and Big Funny Horse. That was what the team was. I was super happy with it. It performed incredibly well. Mudsdale got like 15 total KOs and Flamigo got 18, which for effectively just a normal mon, 18 kills that season was crazy. Now, granted, that was in 19 games, but still, I was very proud of my boy. Flamigo did everything I needed him to. It was just a great game, etc. Great team. And then we got to the bracket. We got 2 winners, and I immediately got a bye 2 quarters because I was like, what, second? I want to say. Yeah, I was second.
Yeah, you're the 2 seed.
I was above everyone but the cheater.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I was super proud of that team. But then I got knocked out in quarters because I had a terrible matchup into Bo Flingus, who might eventually have an interview. Who knows?
One day.
One day. But regardless, I was still super happy with it, and I identified, and this is going to really matter for the upcoming conversation we have in this podcast. I identified something very important, which is that Davin, who I don't think has been in a season since, has he?
No, he was supposed to be in season 2, but he wasn't able to make it.
Yeah, which is understandable. I totally get it. He had Noctillery with Moody. This is something that I believe he didn't really focus on at all. He didn't give it the right items. He didn't run it with any real support. Like, he had a friend guard mon, but he never really put it next to the friend guard mon. It was kind of just when it comes in, it comes in. And I went, that's insane. Moody is an insanely good ability for this format because season 1 especially was a really slow, grindy format. It was very common to see Pokemon run to 0 PP. It was very common for games to just take ages to complete effectively. And I was like, well, then Moody's the way to go. And so I based my entire season 2 team, and if for any of you who've watched any of my interviews, like my champion interview when it comes out eventually, for all those of you who've watched that, I built an entire team that I spreadsheeted and I did everything for, all around Moody Octillery. And I've been told I ruined the meta.
Allegedly.
PB, would you like to elaborate on that? Because I'm biased.
Do you want to go into that now, or do you want to talk about season 4?
No, not really. Let's go into that
Okay.
now. Well, season 4 is where the meta got ruined because I ruined it with season 2.
Okay, yeah. So we can talk about this a little bit. Cam decided to bring Moody his Moes as he's talked about, and after the season, some other teams tried experimenting with it, and we're at the point now or Cam is a type of villain to look back at because of this.
Yeah, season 2 Cam was beloved, but everyone hated the team. Like they hated fighting it.
He was our first Cinderella, we can call it, of this. As what seed were you? 11, 12?
Early on, yeah, something like that.
Well, yeah, he had to win every single possible game to make it to the finals, and still somehow shouldn't have got there.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up now because I was Red League, right? That was the big one.
Yeah, you're red. You barely made the playoffs.
Yeah. I went 2-5, and then immediately won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lost the game to win my division, and then won like 4 more. I won like 10 out of 11 games in a row to make it from a 2-5 team to the champion of season 2.
Which is just insane to think about. No, I was just gonna say, I don't think we'll see a run like that again, is because people now understand the meta and other people are gonna do what you did.
Yes. And frankly, the reason that it happened is because I actually made changes and played better, learned how to operate my team. For a format where you have one button to click at any given moment, besides you either have switch or you have use metronome, that team was really hard to manipulate. It was not easy to captain. Long story short, I worked really hard at it and ended up winning season 2 because I ran a mon that just kind of broke the meta. And I also ran Flamigo, who for any who don't know who Moody did, I should explain this. Moody is an ability that at the end of each turn, you gain 2 stages in a random stat and lose 1 stage of another. And I've explained what Flamigo does. It copies its partner's stat boosts. You might be able to see where I'm going with this. I was able to get the biggest artillery you've ever seen, and then switch in a bird that became the biggest bird you've ever seen. And then I won the game. Period. Like, that was the entire game plan. It was fun.
Very basic.
Very simple.
Very basic, but it worked if you knew what you were doing. You had to know what you were doing.
And the slot next to artillery, I had to like pivot around a whole lot. So I had like Regenerator Aloma Mola, which I'll get back to as well. I had a Barbarical with Pickpocket, so I could steal your items. I had, at the end of the season, I had Illusion Zoroark, who I loved Timothy.
That was so much fun.
I miss him.
I love that thing.
Yeah, I think that was the most fun I've ever had with Zoroark. It was so funny because I'd like make him look like artillery, and then people would freak out and bring in their big damage threats, and then it wouldn't boost at the end of the turn, and they'd be like, "Ah, I just wasted a turn sitting here switching, and now I have a big damage dealer out in front of them."
Such a funny mind game to have with that.
Yep, and it won me multiple games. Was that mind game alone? That's how I beat Bo.
Turbo.
That was it. Long story short, Moody really good. And I was certainly the best one at using it at the time. And then people found out that it was really good, and they saw that it was really good with Poltergeist, which was not available in Season 2. That was a very restricted format because we had points, so I could not run Poltergeist next to it, or otherwise I would have. But then we got to Season 4. PB, can you explain what Season 4 is?
You want to go over season 3? I know you weren't in it.
No, I don't really care.
Okay, yeah, screw season 3.
It was a great season to watch. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't in it. And this is
Yeah.
my podcast episode.
True. I'll just give a brief overview of it. People used what Cam did in season 2 plus hospitality, and it helped them make it to the finals. But anyway,
Yes.
moving the
Oh,
season.
I forgot. Sorry, wait. No, I forgot that it was relevant to this. Yeah, go for it then. I don't remember much of that.
So we ran. Who was it? I forget. I don't remember if it was we or Ibs. One of them ran Moody.
Tyler ran Moody. I don't think we did.
Was it not we? It was either Tyler or Ibs. It was one of the people who had a great season. They ended up running Moody on him, and then also some hospitality and stuff. So the way I see this working is season 2, Cam started the idea. Season 3, some of the people who have been around Cam Circle or watching was like, wait a second. They grabbed the idea and started using it. And then going into season 4, I think some of the people who were watching season 3 were like, wait a second. And that's when it fully picked up.
Well, actually, it was one of the same people.
Yeah. Well, because it's not everybody who was in season 3 was in season 4. It was like there's almost no overlap.
Yeah, but one of the only overlaps was the one that did it.
Yeah. So I feel like if it wasn't for Wii being in every season, this would not have happened the way it did.
Yeah, but Wee's a very strong player. Wee, for context, Wee_Shu on Discord, great guy. He, in season 1, he's like a gimmick player through and through, which I really appreciate. I love gimmicks like that. But because of that, we got to see some very funny stuff. Do you remember what his name was in season 1? I want to find his team to talk about it.
Shanghai.
Yep, that's right, the Mienchaos. Yeah, he ran Leftovers Wobbuffet next to Rocky Helmet Ferrothorn, which is an insane move. I love it so much.
Forgot about that.
That Wobbuffet refused to die under any circumstances, so he ended up going 11-8, and I believe also got knocked out of playoff contention. But like that was an insanely good team.
He lost to Bo too in the first
Of
round.
course he did. Bo just wiped the best teams out of the league. That's crazy. Because he also beat Rosser for consolation finals. That's really funny. Rosser should not have been
Yeah,
there.
he got third place.
Anyway,
So funny.
yeah. So long story short, we had a really good season 1 team. Season 2, we ran a strat that I cooked up for him, which was Choice Band Symbiosis Flabebe next to Berserk Gene Koraidon, and then the Flabebe would switch to Chirim. All of those interactions work in very interesting ways. I was cooking this up behind the scenes because I thought it was incredibly funny, but I couldn't run it because I had my strat. I had the Moody strat I needed to run. But then we had Koraidon would enter the field, pop Berserk Gene, which what Berserk Gene does is when you enter the field, it gives you 2 stages of attack but confuses you. Koraidon's ability activates, it sets the sun and boosts its moves by like 1.3 times, I want to say. Or at least its attack. Yeah, it's its attack. Then he would switch out Flabebe for Chirim at the start of the season, and Chirim would buff it as well, because Chirim, when in the sun, gives it and its ally, I believe, 1.5 times attack and special defense. And because the Flabebe handed it its choice band, because it was symbiosis, this thing hit like 2,200 attack when the average Pokemon has like 200 to 400. So, like, leagues and leagues above. The problem was, it was still confused, and so it would hit itself in confusion and do half of its health, which was not good.
So funny.
It was a great idea for a gimmick, but it just didn't work to win, you know?
No, it took a gambling format and made you gamble even more, which is not ideal.
But I played Moody. That's all I'm about is gambling. I'm a gambling man, PB.
But it's not really gambling though, at the end of the day, because realistically, two is more than one.
Unless it's speed.
Yeah, unless it's speed, but if it is, you can just swap it out and redo it.
And boy, did I. But yeah, then in season 3, which was Little Cup, we experimented with hospitality. I pulled it up. Yeah, it was Poltergeist. So he was the only one with hospitality. I was right. But he had Berserk Gene Munchlax with own tempo. No, sorry. Berserk Gene Lickitung with own tempo, which is impossible to break through when you can Polter heal it. Like, it was one of the best Pokemon that you could ask for. And he had Flabebe to hand it something else, which I think was Eviolite. I think he had ×2 attack Lickitung with Eviolite that could be Poltergeist healed. And so he did really well that season. Long story short. Yeah. He also had Q-Fant, who's just really good. And then in season 4, which is the currently ongoing season, the one we just took a break from this podcast to watch Losers Finals of, Wee's doing really well, frankly. Which is not a big surprise. Again, Wee's a very good builder. That's what I've been focusing on right now. But he's 12-4. That is insanely good. That is a much better record than I had when I won going into the bracket. That's better than I was when I won. And he has a skill villain that has gotten 26 KOs in 16 games. It is in fact one of the only 3 Pokemon on his team that is positive because it does all of the work. And the rest of the team, for the most part, is exclusively there to support it. He has Sinistcha to heal it, which, hey, this is what we were talking about with ruining the meta. I don't think it's ruined. I think it's funny as hell. But he has healing next to Moody. He has Arcanine for Intimidate. He has Moltres and Magmar for Flame Body. He has Vileplume for Effect Spore. So long story short, Skill Villain's kind of been the Pokemon to talk about, which for 2 out of 3 seasons now in a row, a Moodymon's been the Pokemon to talk about, arguably, which maybe that's a little strong for the meta. So for the upcoming season, Moody may have been banned. And Hospitality's already been restricted.
Yeah. So for season 4.5, at least, the way the new naming scheme is, just because people are getting confused on it, which I'm still not happy with 4.5. I'll just say, but it's.
I think it should be 5. I don't understand the concept that Wubbs is going for, but whatever.
Well, when everybody gets confused, even Wubbs not knowing which season is which, it just makes more sense. Whatever. Moody is banned. It's like a test ban, is what I'm calling it, because it's basically our little league where we just like try out the fun new rules and see what happens on it.
Well, the idea of it is mostly that we're getting a bunch of new people and like people who haven't been as prominent in the server. So 'Cause I don't like calling it the Little League, because some of these people are really good players. They're just ones that aren't as established.
I would say a development league might be a better word for it because
I
it's
think
like
we just call it. I think we just call it the off season, effectively. But point is, it's still a very real season, and it's what I'm very excited for, because it's
Yeah.
using the season 1 rule set, which I love.
Yeah, but it's like it's season 1 again. I talked about this on Chris's episode if you guys watched it. At this point, the full rules that came out and the ban list, it's just season 1 again, but restrictions are slightly tuned back so like those weaker legendaries actually get a chance. And then also banning some stuff that we miss, like toxic debris and other things like that, which could completely break it.
Toxic Debris won season 1 for the record, and we immediately banned it and have not looked back. Cursed Body, or Parish Body, sorry. Parish Body almost won season 1, and then we immediately banned it and have not really looked back. Dondozo actually broke season 1, and so we banned it mid-season, which I would feel bad about, but I don't. It was too good.
No, I don't. I told Pink before he even brought to a game this was broken. He's like, nah, it's not.
And it was so impossible to beat. Parish
Yeah.
Body, I think, had counterplay. I wouldn't mind bringing it back as long as it's restricted.
Well, quick thing for Wubs watching this. I know you had a ban beforehand. We love you. Anyway, you were wrong.
Anyway, point is, where we're going with this is that for the new rule set, because of myself and then who was building on my ideas. Because I mean, like, not to say it like this, but I used Poltergeist in season 1 and Moody in season 2. I've used the broken strats. I know how they work. And is now using both of them combined, which I was never able to do. And it's so broken that one of them is banned and the other's restricted, because that's how it goes sometimes. So that's my impact on the league. My season 4, because I won season 2, I tried to make a funnier team and it was bad. I don't really care to talk about it much more than that. It's been a kind of miserable season for me, but such is life.
Did you at least have fun with it, even though it didn't go the best?
I enjoyed this season. I think this is the best season we've ever had. I just didn't like my team.
I say that every season, though.
Well, yeah, because every season we're getting better.
Yeah, I'm really excited for season 5.
The funny part is, I think I preferred season 1 to season 2, which is really funny to say considering I won season 2. But season 2 had something really fun, which was that because it was on a point system, you got to bring the most absurd mons to games. Like I was saying, I had Zoroark, I had Might Yenna was my Intimidator, my Poison Point mon, which I was like, I had this huge sheet. Go watch my season 2 interview, please. I love that one. I had a huge sheet of all my Pokemon I cared about, and I wanted a Poison Pointer. And I ended up settling on Quillfish. Not even Hisuian, just standard Quillfish. And oh my gosh, he was a Pokemon. He ended up going -1, but for being like a 3-point mon, that's not that bad.
Solid, honestly, for his role. He did pretty good.
Barbercle, despite going positive, felt like he was the worst Pokemon I've ever used. He always got hit by a grass move every game, which is so funny to me.
What about the mons you dropped in season 2? Did those not feel worse than Barnacle?
I don't count those.
Okay.
They were way worse than Barbercle.
I was gonna say.
Barbercle actually was decent. He just annoyed me. I tried running Spupa because it was a 0-point mon. It was literally free, and I was like, "That's a crazy free mon. I can have Eviolite Friend Guard." I don't think I paid enough attention to the fact that its BST is like 210, which, for the record, for those of you who play a little less Pokemon, the base stat total of a Pokemon like Quillfish, a pretty bad Pokemon, is 440. This was less than half of Quillfish. So fun fact, not only was it not nearly good enough for Friend Guard, it couldn't do anything. It would usually get 1 or 2 shot at most. And it wouldn't do anything if it pulled a move in the meantime, so such is life. Anyway, I am very excited to see Season 4, because I loved the Season 1 rule set, and I want to see what people are cooking up. I may have been in talks with a couple of them already.
I guess no, it won't. The draft won't happen yet. It'll be coming out the weekend of when this podcast comes out. So there's still a lot to figure out for it. But the big thing is there's 40 teams, which is the most ever, which is what I'm very interested to see how it's going to work with that many.
Same. I fear it's going to be way too many, but I mean, the test season, right? And I'm not in charge of it, so what do I care?
Yeah, no, we got new people in charge of it. We're good.
Yep. Yeah, I want to see it. Back in season 2, I started watching every game that was posted, and then in season 3 I stopped doing that, but I watched a lot of them. So I just like watching this. It's a nice like come down in the evening I get home from work and I'm like, I just need to de-stress for a little bit, and so I watch Pokemon use Metronome for, I don't know, 10 to 30 minutes, depending on how many games are played.
So funny
It's fun.
because I've never watched every game. It's really bad though. I'm the one in charge of it, but I only watch the ones I can really get to. But like if it's an interesting matchup, I'll just skip to the end and see what the final score was. And that's about it.
Yeah, no, I'm dedicated to this. Like I love figuring out the metagame. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about was the metagame.
Okay, perfect.
Good timing on that. The reason that I like certain seasons more than others is because of the metagame around them. And something that has been surprisingly prevalent this season, more so than just, haha, look, Moody broke the format, is that the winners of each format have been something that would really only work with the rules allowed. And there's good and bad reasons with that, but in general, it's very dependent on the season. Like my season 2 team could not have won season 1 or season 4, which are the older ones I've been in. My season 1 team would have swept the floor with most season 2 teams. But that's again the whole point. Season 2 was way more restricted because we figured out what was strong and we don't want every season to be these same Pokemon. Season 4, for the record, is it's referred to as Captain's Cup, which is I was on the team that helped come up with that whole idea, and I was a huge fan of it. If any of you have played a monotype format, think that, but it was you drafted a Pokemon, and you could only use its types moving forward, with other restrictions like Steel, you couldn't do certain things, blah blah blah. But in general, it was just all your Pokemon have to share a type with your captain, and that has led to some of the funniest stuff we've seen. Because one of the teams that is, I believe, fourth seed. I don't remember what roster is, but he's like top 5. He's running a sand team. The only sand team we've ever seen was season 1 when it did so bad everyone swore it off basically forever. Where were the timekeepers? They went 3-16 in season 1.
Which is misleading. They lost their first 11.
They won their last 2. Oh, that's so funny. They lost their first 12, actually. I have it open.
Well, the sheet doesn't go in order.
Oh, right. It was 11 chronologically. Right. Still, that's bad. And the funny part is, it doesn't look awful. It's really not. Like, there's a couple key pieces that are different than Roster's current team, but the idea is the same. It has the same sand setter.
Little note from Bal's team is he didn't have IVs, I think, on it.
Yeah, it was something like that.
We found out halfway through the season he just forgot to add that to his team. Or he touched them or something.
So, whoopsies. Regardless of that, we all swore off sand. We thought it was just like, none of the abilities that work with it really matter. Like, Sandvale's good, but that team didn't have a lot of Sandvale. I think it only had Dugtrio, which is just not a good mon. Sand Force only works with Ground, Rock, and Steel moves, which people don't realize. I hate that feature. For real play, I think it's good, but for this league, I hate that. And like Sand Rush, speed is the least important stat in this metagame, which this is maybe the only metagame where that's true. And I personally love that because it lets you use big, bulky mons. But point is, yeah, now in the weird current format that has a bunch of weird restrictions, Sand's really good because it's a monotype format, so people don't necessarily have Ground, Rock, and Steel. They might have 1 or 2 of them, but it's not a lot. Like, I ran a flying team, and I literally had none of any of those, I believe. So if Sand hit the field, I was taking the chip damage. Simple as. Not to mention the fact that you can just run a bunch of rock types, which get the special defense boost. He's running like weakness policy, solid rock, Rhyperior, which was a great call. I think that's an excellent Pokemon design. He has Eviolite Rhydon, which is crazy good for being an Eviolite mon. Stuff like that. That couldn't have happened in a previous meta. If that was in season 1, he would have lost to the million poison pointers. Every good team had poison point on it, or some form of poison. You remember that, PB?
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember my Nidoqueen? I miss her.
Yeah.
Eve the Nidoqueen.
I have a funny idea I was thinking of earlier. We should do some little event or something where we give people other teams. Like, could you imagine giving like Bo your season 2 team and trying to watch him pilot it, not knowing what they're doing?
We should put it on a wheel. Every team that's ever been in a game, except for maybe Little Cup, because that's just kind of lame to give someone a Little Cup team against a not Little Cup team. But we should put all the season 1, 2, and 3 teams in a wheel. It'd be so funny.
We should so do that. That'd be a fun like weekend event to do, and then you just get to use a team and just see what you can do with it.
Yeah. Especially if it's like every game too, you just roll a team. It'd be so funny.
You could get Pink's team. You could get Bow's. You never know.
That would be so funny. Cause like, oh my gosh, what some of the season 1 teams compared to some of the season 2 teams. Like,
They're rough.
imagine rolling. Who ended up going? Oh right, poor Spry. That poor dude. Spry's a great guy, but he just doesn't have the luck for this. Oh well, such is life. Right, season 2, he actually did really good in the end. I forgot. He started out a little rougher, and then he kind of picked it up. Spry is a great guy. Season 4, he's had some bad luck. Anyway, all that to say, I think it would be really funny to get like, well, I mean, think like get Wii's season 2 team with the core item thing that I was talking about. You need to know how to pivot that.
I think we handpick so we get rid of some of the bad teams, just so.
But it'd be so funny if you just spun the wheel every time.
Okay, that's fair. You know what?
It's an event for a weekend.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. Write that one down.
Yeah, that's a funny idea. The other thing I want to really do still that we've all agreed we're gonna do eventually, we just need to plan it, is one of my favorite ideas I've ever come up with for this, which is the Any Ability Smoliv Cup.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep. So the idea is that you draft abilities instead of Pokemon, which means that no one else can have that ability, but then every Pokemon has to be Smoliv. You draft like 6 or 8 Smoliv, each of which have like some ability from the game. So you could have like Imposter Smoliv turn into the opponent. You can have Sword of Ruin Smoliv do more physical damage. You can have, I mean, some of the obvious ones are like Huge Power, Poison Point, stuff like that. But it would be so funny. You could have like Shadow Tag Iron Barbs Smolivs. So I really want to do this. Long story short, I think it'd be actually the funniest thing we've ever done.
You guys are about
It's
to go to
hard.
your off season, so we may have time.
I don't want to do it during many more.
Okay, you don't want to?
We could. I'll talk to some of the other season 4 players because it would just be season 4 players. I'd grab like, I don't know, 10 people, I think would be enough.
Yeah, if it's small enough like that too, you could play a lot more games too.
And that's the thing is I would try to dedicate like a weekend. It'd be like play as many games as you can in this weekend. Yeah, and then we'd just see which abilities reigned supreme. Because it's a fun thing. It's kind of a fun like hypothetical question. Is if abilities weren't tied to specific Pokemon, could they be better / worse? Like, is Regenerator good because it's on really good Pokemon, or in a format where every Pokemon's the same as Regenerator too good, kind of thing? Who knows? Is Hospitality good because it's on a Ghost type, so it can't be Trap? Who knows? There's just plenty of stuff you could do. Is Huge Power balanced because it's on a Zoomeril?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of thinking. Yeah, no, I
Mhm.
really like that idea. I forgot about that one. It's been a while
Uh,
since you mentioned it.
If we've been in the season, that's the problem. Is like I was planning for season 4, and then I've been in season 4, so I haven't had time to bring it up. But I now have time to bring it up again, and I really want to do the Any Ability Smoliv Cup. I think that would also it'd be one of our second mini league.
Yeah, our second mini season or mini league, whatever we're gonna call it.
Yeah, I was super impressed with how well you guys ran the other mini season because it was
Yeah.
like everyone in it said they had a lot of fun.
Shout out we, because we hand typed out all the statistics for every game
Yep,
under the battle log.
which is
Really funny.
crazy.
I really appreciate the dedication because Wubs didn't give us a sheet because it was the mini.
We is, I would argue, one of the members of the community that has, he's been here since the beginning. He literally was in the season 1 draft.
Yeah, he was also in the group chat for the draft because he was really active on commenting
On
and stuff
Instagram.
beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To tie it all back to where we started this whole conversation. Yeah, he's another. I want to refer to him as old guard. It feels silly because it's been less than a year, but like the people from season 1 that are still super active and present are kind of the old guard, People like myself, Wubs, Blab, Bo, Rosser, Sylv, I suppose. Sylv got us the whole server.
You know, still has us where we're at, and
We
it's funny because like someone like Rosser, he was really active in the beginning, and then he was really quiet, and then randomly in the last few months he just popped up again.
and now he's like everywhere. You cannot escape Rosser.
Yeah, no, I talk with him in calls all the time because we've been doing
Mhm.
Minecraft server planning and stuff, which he's been really excited about.
God, sorry, I was looking back at season 1. 51 diff on Pink's team is crazy.
No, it was so broken.
I had 27 diff. That's already like that shouldn't happen.
It was so broken.
Yeah.
So I have a fun thing we could possibly end this on after you finish your thought.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm looking at Hank's team. For season 2, Hank should have won. Hank, for those who don't know, is started in season 2, built a team that was like, I want to say it was kind of an under the radar team during the draft because he kind of just grabbed all of the best generic Pokemon and that was it. There wasn't like a big gimmick. There wasn't a big push for anything like that. He kind of just got Dragalge and Caparaja and Garchomp and Mousehold, and it turns out when you have the best Pokemon, you win the game. It's crazy how that works. And he should have won this season. I have readily admitted that for months now, and I'll admit it again. Hank should have won this season. He had the best team. He was 12-1 going into the winners bracket, and then made his way to finals. And then I
Really?
beat him by like a quarter of a Pokemon because he blew up like twice.
So watching the game live, I forgot how close it was, and then call back to KMC's new interview, which will be out soon. I promise,
It
guys.
better. Sorry, I didn't swear. You, Ibs, cut that.
It's okay. A few people have.
No, bleep that out. I want mine to be family friendly.
Okay, go ahead. And then yeah, no. So when we were watching the interview and you replayed the battle, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot you were literally losing that whole game.
Not only was I was losing my mind. We were in voice chat, and it was like, that was like the loudest I've ever been in a Discord call. It was crazy. Poor Hank. He was so heartbroken about that, and he handled it really well. He's a very upstanding guy. But like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, that was rough. So my fun little thing we could do is because since the loser bracket just ended, do you want to do a playoff prediction to end this?
That sounds awesome, actually. That sounds hilarious. Do you have the updated image?
Not updated, but Shadow is the king of the losers, and he's technically the 16 seed if we
Yeah,
go
yeah,
by
yeah.
losers bracket.
That's all I need. Ibs, put this on screen.
Thank you, Ibs.
um, Ibs, thanks for being the editor. I really appreciate it. So, for context here, I obviously know these teams really well, because I've been watching this whole season. That said, it is really hard to predict a metronome battle. So often predictions are very wrong, and I'd like to lead with that because I expect my predictions will go terribly awry. That said, I know these teams well enough. I'm still gonna have the sheet open because I want to see. Because like, how is Sylv rank 9? That's crazy to me.
He did great
Bro
all
is
season.
bro has been so good. Like, yeah, I'm very very proud of him. Sylv is awesome.
And he has to play Papple too, who just had a bad last few weeks.
Yes, but Papple has, I believe, the team that is the most underrated. What's his team name? At the Madrid Maractai, right? Kartana is maybe one of the best Pokemon in this entire metagame. None of us realized that. In fact, no one really, like when he drafted, all of us were like, "Oh, cool, Kartana," and it's had games where it got 4+ kills. Like it steamrolls effectively is what it does because of what 181 attack stat or something like that. Literally, it's 181 attack stat, 131 defense, with Beast Boost. So whenever it gets a kill, it boosts his attack. I think he has a Choice Banded, if I remember correctly. Simple as you get hit by Kartana, you die. He boosts himself. That's it. So Switchgrass to Kartana is terrifying. Frankly, I think that the only way that Sylv makes it through that is by killing that Kartana early. If he does, he has a very good chance. Breaking through the Hydrapple is hard, obviously, but like, I mean, he has multiple Intimidators, he has Chen Pao, he has Galarian Moltres. I'm talking about Sylv for the record. Sylv has great Tusk. He has a lot of really strong physical attackers, which is going to be rough for Kartana because it's a great physical defense Pokemon. But it's going to be excellent into like some of the other Pokemon. I guess Mo Chen has a good matchup into it too. So I have a lot of respect for Sylv. I think Papple's winning that. Top left of the bracket, it was Shadowman versus Peter.
Peter, yes, it's Peter.
I love Peter's team. I'm a big fan of the Galarian Govnas. Mostly because I love Klefki, Clefairy, Galarian Weezing, Toxapex. That's just such a good set of Pokemon. But it's kind of a toss-up, right? Like, Whitestone has some really good Pokemon of their own that's going to be really hard for them to break through. Because, like, most of them don't really care about their abilities. Iron Thorns does get shut off now, though. But yeah, like, Terrakion doesn't care about its ability. Aerodactyl does. Keldeo does, but like Stakataka doesn't really. Cobalion doesn't really. I think
Heyo, Ibs here again. Just wanted to let you guys know that PB's internet had decided to cut out for this section, so we've lost Cam's insight into the Galarian Governors versus Whitestone Woolstool matchup. However, I can tell you that Cam says that the Whitestone Woolstools will beat the Galarian Governors. I am so sorry for the inconvenience, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the podcast. See ya!
But then he loses to Hank. Hank immediately moves on to quarters. Hank's just such a good team and has such a good matchup into Shadow Man, because Shadow Man's all about like taking things a little slow, using some physical defense, using some high physical offense. And Hank's team is the I'm going to blow you up. Yeah, that's all there is to it. He can ignore Beast Boost. He can ignore Defiant. Hank has such a good matchup into that.
And they played a couple times, and they haven't been close.
Has Hank always won?
Yeah, they played real life. They're the first ever in-person match.
Right, duh. Wait, no, I wasn't saying into Peter. I was saying into Shadow Man. I think Shadow Man's beating Peter.
Oh, you think? Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I would check if they've played, but the sheet's down right now.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, rip. Oh wait, I just refreshed it, and it's good. Have they
okay.
played Shadow Man? Hank beat Shadow Man once, and then lost to Shadow Man once.
Okay, so even series. Okay.
Oh, maybe it's less of a good matchup than I thought. I still voted for Hank. I have high hopes in Hank. Only other corner of the bracket is, well, no, I have two more. I think Wubs beats Wolf. I love Wolf's team. It's so funny to have a bug team as 10th seed, but he just did a really good job with it. Pinkerton's surprisingly good. I have no idea why. Genesec's inherently really good. Yeah, big fan of the Florentina Phalanx. Yeah, Raging Bolt, Slitherwing, Magnezone, all just excellent picks. Escavalier's not bad. So, I think Wubs wins it, but not by a lot. Wubs' team is just really good.
I do want to interject real quick. It is Wubs' team.
But it's Wubs' team this season. Remember, this season they've been cooperative.
Yeah, but every playoffs, poor guy.
That's so true. No, I think Wubs makes it at least to quarters. And then bottom right of the bracket, New York Enterprise versus the Pewter City Tories. Let me look at the Enterprise.
It'll be interesting one.
Oh, right, it's Moniris. Moniris Poison Psychic Team. I remember.
These two played in Moniris won 1-0.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's a very volatile matchup, right? Because if it's a slow match, like not a lot of insta-kill moves being pulled, Chris's Rough Skin's just going to break through so much. Like, it's just going to chip down these slow Pokemon so much. But the thing is that one good Poison or one good Glacial Lance just kind of ends it for Chris. That's been true all season. Like, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 quad weaknesses to Ice, which I'm very anti-quad weakness, so... Yeah, just interesting. Long story short. I think I would root for... I really don't know. I would say Moniris, but I don't... Long story short, I love Chris's team. I don't think it's making it to finals.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, so I'm going to say Moniris. And Moniris immediately fights Pink. Moniris and Pink's teams do very similar things, frankly. A lot of bulk sit on the field. The problem is that Pink has a very important poison immunity on his main Mon. And there are no burn immunities on the other team. And he has some item reliances that Delphox can bully. He doesn't have a great time into other regenerators. It's poisonable, though. That's going to be another very interesting match. Do you know if they've ever played?
Can't think if they have or not. I don't...
It was Pink and Moniris. They did. Moniris initially lost 6-0 in the only game they've ever done. So I'm going to say Pink wins this.
Was it early season or late season?
That was game 5. That was early season.
Pink's team was doing pretty good early season before I started losing a few.
True, but still. But then I also just want the Pink versus Wii rematch, because the first time Pink lost to Wii 3-0, and then he beat Wii 6-0. I think it'd be funny for them to fight in finals.
Yeah. So now we're on to the best of 3. So I want you to predict how many games each one wins too.
Oh my gosh, you're making me do work.
Yeah, of course.
Hank versus Splop. I think Splop's team is just kind of good into that matchup. They're both excellent teams. I love both of them. But like, Hank's team isn't good into Tinglu specifically, because it lowers Spec A, I believe. So Tinglu just has a really good matchup into it. I mean, High Dragon's pretty good there. Iron Treads is hard to break through. Bisharp's hard to break through. War in Iraq's really funny. That'll sound great out of context. Yeah, there's just a lot of good mons on Splop's team against that. So I think Splop takes that. I'm gonna say he wins 2-1 because Hank's team has decided that sometimes it wants to show up. So I'm gonna say that'll be a 2-1, but I'm gonna say that the two games that Splop wins won't be super close. Bo versus Wubs. I lean towards Bo, but the problem is Bo's team is not fast. You know what Wub's team really wants is to fight a slow team. Because he wants his Empoleon to buff up infinitely, right? There it is, the Dar Monsters. Oh, he has Dondozo. Bo wins that easy. Bo is Moody and Dondozo.
I love how quickly that just.
Unaware. Unaware just beats Empoleon. Wubs' team is really slow and grindy because it has 2 Rain Dishers and has 2 competitive mons. He does have his own Moody, but I don't think it's enough. And none of those match up well into Octillery Dondozo combo. He has Palafin. I think Bo wins that 2-0, frankly. Bo did lose to Wubs.
Yeah, I think he did.
Bo's winning that. It was 2-0.
Okay. I will. One thing is the way Bo plays is he either blows him out or loses a close one. So I wonder if that one will just go to 3 just because it's Bo.
That is true. He does have some very high...
Look at his diff.
He has a good diff. Anyway, yeah. So I think Bo wins that, which would put Bo Splop in semis. That would be a good match. Oh, I want to see that one.
That'd be a really good game.
Top right, I said that Papple's making it to Rosser. And frankly, I think Papple has a terrible matchup into Rosser, except for Kartana. I know I'm really pushing Kartana, but like Florges, Hydrapple, Wo-Chien, Tapu Bulu all don't do great into sand because Tapu Bulu does set the grassy terrain to stop the chip damage from sand, like to counteract it. But Rosser's team gets the chip heal from grassy terrain. So they're going to be really hard to break through. Tinkaton's going to be good there too. And Hydrapple can heal off the sand. So effectively, Papple's hopes... He has a setter! Papple has Alolan Ninetales. Whoa, that changes things. Have they fought? Rosser won last time, but only 1-0. I still think Rosser wins this, but the setter really changes things. Without that, I think Papple has less of a chance. I'm going to say Rosser 2-1. Are you writing this down, or is this just going to be verbal?
Actually, Ibs will put it on screen and give me a transcript afterwards. So
That's awesome. I can't wait to see how wrong I was about this whole thing. Bottom right of bracket, I said Pink's moving on over Miniris, right? Mostly I think I've followed exclusively the seeding so far. No, that's not true. I've mostly followed the seeding so far. But, I mean, it's just my actual take on the matchup. We Pink is impossible to predict, frankly. Based on their games, I don't think it is actually at all possible to figure out how that's going to go. Because it's Moody. It's how Moody works. I don't trust Wee's team to clutch up.
really,
I've used Moody. I know how it goes. I mean, again, he won one and then he lost the other 6-0. Like that's bad. It's one thing to lose. It's another to be blown out of the water like that. And that's because he has one good Pokemon for dealing damage. After that, it's like Mega Venusaur and I guess he has Defiant Ogerpon. I love Ogerpon, but I have low faith. I think that Wii has that in the bag. Or sorry, I think Pink has that in the bag. I think Pink's gonna win that. Do you want me to say a number? I don't know how many games it's gonna be.
it has to be a 2-1. It has to be.
I'm going against the grain. I'm saying 2-0. I'm saying
Oh,
Pink
really?
wins that 2-0.
2-0
somehow.
upset. Okay.
Yeah, I have faith. So that would put it as Rosser Pink. Oh, it'd be Rosser Pink in
there's
semis.
no way. That's
There's
so
no
funny.
way.
Oh my goodness.
That would be really funny. No one's gonna be happy with however that ends. Like one of them's gonna be pissed.
That'd be so funny. I hope that's
It
right.
will.
That'd be such a good matchup.
Not for them, but for us.
Oh, for us, yeah. I mean, they literally.
Humble viewer.
I made them play each other as their cross-conference.
Yeah, how'd that go again?
I don't even remember.
Oh, right. That was Wonder Room. I remember. That was a hilarious match. But now we're staring down Splop versus Bo. Which is a very interesting one. Because they have not fought. My take on the matter is that Splop has a bad matchup into Moody. And Splop hasn't fought Moody yet. Fun fact. He has not fought Bo, nor has he fought Wii. So, yeah. That's interesting to say the least. I mean, look at his team, right? He does have a breaker. He has well actually he has two. He has Nidoking. He has High Dragon. He has a chance. That's gonna be a super weird game. I actually want to see that. Even if they don't end up in that position, I want to see Splop versus Bo. That'll be so cool. What are you thinking, PB? Because I'm having a
On
hard
that
time with this one.
on that game,
If it were to hypothetically be Splop Bo, what's standing out to you? I'm seeing that like he has the bulk to survive Palafin. He can deal with Dindozo. He can deal with Slowbro Galar. But he doesn't have a great regen matchup. He doesn't have a great Moody matchup. So I'm like, it's gonna be rough. I think Bo has a real chance to beat him there.
definitely. But Splop does have Iraq though, and that's something we do gotta take into the equation.
He does have Excadrill, indeed. I just don't think it's gonna help him as much here as I'd want it to.
Yeah,
Because he does
it's
have a
fun.
breaker. That's the thing, is that he has a kind of a team of breakers. Like half his spawns are bulk and half his mon are breakers. But Bo kind of has the same thing. I don't know if any of his breakers are strong enough to comfortably do anything to regen super well. But I don't know. I mean, he beat Papple. Papple relies heavily on regen. He beat me. I have regen. Maybe it's better than I thought. He did
Yeah,
kind of just kill all my Pokemon. I'm
yeah.
gonna
I
once again go against the grain. I'm gonna bet an upset 2-1 Bo.
really, it's kind of funny. I look at these matchups by narrative and like by principle of
A narrative.
old one by narrative. It's a funny way to do it because it's random, but like it always worked itself out. And Bo doesn't have good playoff experience. He's choked a lot of games. His making
In
it
season one, he had great playoff
in the
experience.
quarterfinals, he got 6-0'd by Davin in 8 turns.
That's really funny, actually.
That is Bo's team in a nutshell. He beat we and you, and then got 6-0'd in 8 turns.
That's so funny. Okay, I see your point.
I don't know if Bo has that playoff experience, and Splop is a rising star right now. I think he's gonna win 2-0. It's gonna be like a 2-0 win at the very last game, and like Bo's gonna just like blow it or something. That's what he does every season, unfortunately. He loses close
I
games.
get it. I don't know. I feel like he makes that and then blows it in finals. That's what I was gonna say. Is I was betting on. Oh, the other side is Rosser versus Pink. Oh, right. I don't feel like actually thinking that out, so I'm just gonna say sure Rosser wins because it's impossible to know. I'm gonna say 2-0. Sure, Rosser wins 2-0 against Pink. Cool. Because I want to see Rosser versus Bo in finals because I feel like that's such a Rosser matchup. Uh, Bo's team has like Moody getting chipped down by sand is going to be rough for him. Unaware is only going to be good into the Rhyperior. Palafin could go off. Palafin could just win the game. But no, I don't feel like he has it. I feel like Rosser's team actually has the sauce this season.
Really? Okay.
Uh, I do. I have my gripes with Rosser's team personally, but I think it's really good. It is the team that I think is made for this meta. I was talking about that earlier. That's where my standings are, and I think that's a good place to call this interview.
You want to proudly say who's gonna win real quick and confidently?
No, I do not. I am not confident in this.
I'll watch you be right, and then you're just not confident.
I'm fine with that. I would rather be right and not confident than wrong and confident. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm not a proudly wrong kind of guy.
Yeah. When I did my season 2 bracket, my prediction, I looked at the end. I said, "Hey, if I didn't pick you to win, go prove me wrong." And you proved me wrong because I picked you to lose in the first round.
And frankly, I should have.
You should
But what
have,
was my
but
first round? It was against Bo again.
it was against Bo. That's all.
I
Everything
remember.
goes back. Everything goes back to Bo. You'll learn.
Yeah, Bo's kind of a name. You know what I mean? He's around.
He's always
So yeah,
around.
that's where we stand.
Yeah, that's gonna wrap this up. Any last words you got? Any shout out? Anything you want to say?
Shout outs to Regenerator and to Hospitality, the best two abilities in the game. I think that they should be unrestricted. I think I should run 6 Regenerator Pokemon. Shout outs to the general admin and mod team. I have a lot of fun on this server, and it's due in very large part to the people who put the work into it, you know? So I really appreciate it. PB, cannot thank you enough for getting this whole community together and spearheading it, you know? Like, the fact that it didn't just die out after season 1 is very nice because it could have. It could have just been like, haha, we did this once. Thanks, everyone.
Honestly, I'm honestly really impressed, and I'm really happy where it is.
And the fact that it's still growing so well. I think that's the thing, is that like going into season 2, I think all of us were worried if it was going to stagnate. And then season 3 was like a little test of like, oh, we'll get some new people in. And then with season 4 and season 4.5, it's like, oh, people care about this. Like more than just the same 10 people really care about this.
Yeah, over the course of full season 4, there's going to be 62 teams.
64, right?
62 because we and Chris are in both.
Well, they're still different teams. But you're talking about
Yeah, but
64
I'm saying
players.
players,
Or
yeah.
62 players, yeah.
62 unique players inside this, which kind of just blows my mind. That's a lot of people.
That is insane. That's like almost an incomprehensible number. But yeah, thanks, PB.
Thank you for coming on.
I will talk to you later.
I will. I'll see you guys next week.